Oh, that's okay. I'm good here.
Your wife is here?
Yeah, my wife is here, so that's why I left.
They want to get you on camera. So you can sit
They
next to
want to
them.
get you in our video.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. See how you feeling? Good. Okay, good.
It's a baby boy.
Baby
Oh,
boy.
congratulations.
Oh, over here so they don't put the back of your head. So we make theories to substitute for concepts. They substitute today for a concept of what a thing is. They make mathematical theories. Mathematical theories are abstractions from the actual object that we look at. So those abstract concepts called mathematical formulas or theories have really nothing to do with the objects that we're looking at. But completely, they're taken out of the context. Abstract things are taken out of its concrete context. Which is some mental image. But the actual thing, how do we explain that? Just like a flower, let's say, for instance. We can analyze in terms of its esters and fragrances and its oils and so forth and so on, or its chemicals. But where's the flower and all of that? So we have to extract from the flower to make all these partial reductionistic determinations of the a flower. But we lose the flower. So the flower is that's a conception. And how to include that conception in our explanation of what a flower is. That's possible. If we understand the relationship between concepts and objects. And that's where Hegel comes in. Okay? He explained that very nicely. I won't go into that now because these are a very advanced topic. I want to keep it so that everybody can follow. But there's a lot. That's much involved in that. A lot philosophical, logical thought. And that's what we're trying to do, trying to develop, and trying to present that in a way that they can understand. I think it can be done very, not to say, it's a very scholarly, academic way. People can follow the scientific reasoning behind these ideas. We use some little ideas.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Ajay coming today?
When did he come? But I don't know.
He'll come after a while?
He said he would come, so maybe he'll just.
Oh, you said he's gonna
later.
come? Okay. All right, so we begin usually our program not with this detailed explanation, but just to give you some idea. We usually begin with a Kirtan. Okay. Some of the basic mantras. Krishna mantra. I just made the 3 words, Hare, Krishna, and Rama. And the other side is more complicated. he can renounce everything and take hands-off attitude and feel frustrated with everything and want to come to some peacefulness, some non-disturbance within himself. Something like a skeptical attitude, or stoic. And then there's a third possibility of the will. What do you think that might be?
Oneness. Oneness.
Oneness. What does that mean?
It is a presence to the subtleties of being that are moving you.
Huh?
Being aware to the subtleties of being that are moving you.
And what attitude would you call that? I mean, is that not, you're just being moved like a puppet or what?
No, you're attuning to the highest capability that you can of your will.
That you?
It's the will that moves you.
Huh?
I don't know that I have
A harmony between your will and the will of the infinite?
Absolutely. And that might not be pleasant, but it would still be harmonious.
Okay. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Jesus taught that. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Thy will be done, not my will. I have a will, that's our freedom. But we're also not the Lord of everything. There's something going on beyond us. And we can forget that and think that I am the Lord and I can do whatever I want. Or I can think I can just forget about everything and withdraw to myself and be peaceful or try to be peaceful. And dealing with the world is too painful or too difficult or whatever, stressful, hurtful. And just meditate and try to close out everything. Or harmonious, we're going to try to detect the higher will, the will of the universe, whatever that might be. When things around me are happening, try to not conflict with that, but roll with the punches or whatever you want to say. Is there anything else? You think there's another attitude?
Dedication.
Dedicate. What does that mean?
So, exploitation would be your will to satisfy your self-interest. Renunciation would be your will to detach from mundane interest, but dedication would be your will to surrender to the higher will and act according to that.
That's what Bina was saying. But what about actually trying to please the will, loving the will, and trying to please and establish a loving relationship, not merely harmonious relationship, but actually trying to develop a love, a relationship of love with the higher. In Sanskrit that's called Krishna Prem. Krishna Prem. Not ordinary love, but a love with Krishna. Krishna is the higher will. In the Bhagavad Gita, he explains that he is the supreme. Aham sarvasya. What's that verse?
Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Tad
Mata?
mata sarvasyam mata sarvam pravartate. Iti Madhava Bhajante Mam
Buddha?
Buddha Bhava Samangitaha.
Yes. Krishna says that. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. I am the source of everything. Everything is coming from me, he's saying in the Gita. You ever meet anyone who said that? I am the source of everything, everything else. Some people think like that. But when Krishna says it, we can take it a little seriously, you know. God is the source of everything. Someone may say, yes, I am the source of the sun and the moon and all these things. They can't do that. If you ask them to do it, they can't. But Krishna can do it. Anyhow. So there is Krishna. He has his will. And there's us, and we have our will, and there's a relationship. And we can either ignore him, and like Kesha was saying, that we can ignore him or just take this whole world and give it to us, and just try to take from it whatever we can. That's exploitation. Or, again, not understanding the relationship with between us and the environment, we may take the attitude of renunciation, thinking that it is mine to renounce, or it's my choice to renounce or to accept. But then the other attitude is to live in peaceful harmony with that, or try to, actually develop a mood of love, affection, caring, an active, proactive relationship with the Absolute. That's called bhakti. That's bhakti. So you have karma, and the Bhagavad Gita mentions three things: karma, jnana, and bhakti. Karma means trying to do something for some result. Karma. You do something, you want some result from it. The product of that type of mentality is that by taking from the environment for your own purpose, you will get a reaction, and the environment will take from you. That's called karma. Some reaction will come to us. But we take it for our own benefit, then according to the Newton's law, every action will produce a reaction. You'll get a reaction from that. And if we take the attitude of jnana, just try to meditate on harmony and peace and all these things, in the kind of renounced way from the world, then that will also not be the highest understanding. Doesn't really take account of Krishna and his will and his pleasure. And then there's bhakti, it's also explained. And Krishna tells us, I want you to practice bhakti. I want you to love me. And I want to have a relationship with you also.
Sarva dharmam parijyaga mamekam sharanam vrajaham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshasyami mastacha.
Yes. And the 18th chapter explains the final message of the Gita. Sarva dharma. All your other duties, don't worry about that. Try to come to me. Try to focus upon me. All your energies, whatever you're doing, your desires, whatever there is, direct them toward me, and then you'll get free from all these other anxieties, whatever is bothering you. That will be eliminated. So like that, we're interested in this bhakti, not some neutrality or self-interest, but selfless sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Supreme. Action for the satisfaction of the Supreme. That's bhakti. All right, now, that's the general conception. But what are the details? What is it we have to do? Here we are, dropped in the middle of the material world, like in the middle of an ocean. There's nobody around, and we're drowning. And then, what to do? So we need some help. We need somebody who's not drowning in the ocean. We need a ship to come by. Somebody who's out of the ocean, who's out of that dangerous situation. We need that. To somebody help. Right? You can't go to another person who's in the ocean with you. Say, help me. Hold me up. What can you do? Right? So we need somebody who's not in the ocean, who's not drowning.